Hey everybody.
Hi everyone.
Hey everybody.
Hi everyone.
Hi guys.
Hey everyone.
Hi everyone.
Armani, hey, hi. It's your big brother, Brandon.
Hey Isabel.
Hey Taryn.
Hi.
Hi Trinity.
Hi Sarah.
Hi Hunter.
Hey T. It's me and your buddy Gunner.
Hey Jair, how you doing, man?
For the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Hey! Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. Hey! They can say it all sounds crazy.
I became a big because when I was a child, I had a mentor.
And during that time with our little, we have really had the opportunity to spend time, really make an impact on our little right here locally in Harvey County.
I became a big sister through Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters because when I was growing up, I had awesome mentors.
I became a big because I wanted to help the youth in the community and to help mentor.
From this point forward, you are officially matched. So you are big and little together, which is awesome.
Hello, welcome to the Harvey County Virtual Information Session. We are so grateful you have joined us today to learn a little more about what we do and how you might become a part of it. Just a couple of housekeeping items before we start. The restrooms are right outside this door and down the hall to, just kidding. Okay, let's get serious. This time in our world has been very interesting to say the least. Our bigs inspire us on a pretty regular basis, but during this time in our world, they have wowed us. Now more than ever, our youth need us. One significant way to make a difference in this time of social unrest, isolation, everything else that's happening, is to be a mentor and support a youth facing adversity. So thank you again for taking the time to consider it. In Harvey County, we have more than 20 youth on the waiting list and another 15 waiting to be on the waiting list. The need is really ever present. So we're thrilled you are considering this opportunity. So let's get this party started. My name is Shelly Chinberg and I'm the area director for Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters serving Harvey County. I've been with Big Brothers Big Sisters for 7 years and a big sister for about 5 of those years. And now I'm going to turn it over to my co-presenter to introduce herself.
Good afternoon. Hi, I'm Haley Betts, and I am the volunteer manager for Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters serving Harvey County. For about 4 years now, I've been a big sister since early 2018. It's been a lot of fun and very impactful. Shelly and I talk all the time about how we have such a great opportunity to not only work with amazing staff, but especially the amazing mentors and youth that we get to serve. It's kind of a humbling experience, and we are always joking around or very serious, but we are very better together. This is our shirts. We are actually going to be doing a shirt giveaway at the conclusion of this. So I encourage all of you to, we'll give the form to sign up for that so we can send you your shirt. This is our for kids' sake shirts this year, and quite appropriate for sure. So let's take a look at the agenda in front of you. It's going to be a lot of information. We're going to go over a lot of inspiring and impactful information in a pretty short amount of time. So we'll go quickly. I really encourage you. There's a chat box at the bigger corner, so please feel free to put any kind of questions that you have that comes up. and we will answer them, if not in the presentation, then at the conclusion during the Q&A. We'll also have our contact information as well, so if you wanted to email us or give us a phone call, we encourage you to do that. So now we're going to have a word from some of our bigs across Kansas, and also I'm sure you'll see some familiar faces from some of our matches, our big brothers and big sisters here in Harvey County.
My little and I like to go to the park and play board games, do arts and crafts, and she really appreciates it when I just listen or laugh at her jokes.
Hi, my name is Bert Caves. I'm a big brother for 21 years. Things we like to do together is play games, talk. That's pretty much what we do all the time. I noticed my little brother likes it when I just listen to what he has to say and just spend time with him.
My little and I meet at the school, and we play games for about a half an hour, and it's very easy to be a big sister because we just enjoy having fun together.
And I found that being a big is one of the simplest, most tangible, most natural ways to invest in the life of a kid. And so I've decided to sign up and become a big again. There's still a huge need in our community, and I feel like I still have something to offer.
Shaylee and I really enjoy swimming and doing arts and crafts. It's actually pretty simple to find things to do together that we enjoy.
Our little is so much fun. We do simple things. We go for walks, we bake, but most of all what we do is spend time together and talk, and it's a joy.
Well, there might have been a little technical difficulty there, but there are so many awesome Harvey County bigs. We just really appreciate you all and all the community support we receive. So let's talk about Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Our mission is to create and support one-to-one mentoring relationships that ignite the power and promise of youth. We serve only youth facing adversity, and we only do one thing, one-to-one mentoring. We've done this one thing for 116 years nationally, 50 years in Kansas, and 23 years in Harvey County. Kansas Big Brothers Big Sisters is one of the largest affiliates of Big Brothers Big Sisters of America. We serve almost the entire state, 93 counties. We do that through 8 area hubs, each with their own directors and program staff. So in Harvey County, your contacts are me, Haley, and you'll meet Molly in a minute. She's the match support specialist. Well, that's a little bit about who we are and where we serve. Now, Haley's going to share a little bit about the kids we serve.
Okay, so the littles that we serve range anywhere between 5 and 25 years of age, and so we want you to work with whatever age group you want to work with. We serve, like Shelly mentioned, kids that are facing adversity, and so this is, we serve not that primary need like a Boys and Girls Club or any after school program. Those are amazing programs, and we partner with them all the time, referrals back and forth, but we're that next level up, that one-to-one attention. So we serve the secondary and even the highest level of tertiary need. Here's a snapshot of the kids that we serve here in Kansas. As you can see, majority of them are coming from a single parent home and living at the poverty level or below. But like I said, the kids in Harvey County may have one of these signs of adversity, and they may have all of them. So we want you to work with whoever you feel comfortable working with. And so I like to give a little snapshot of what your little may look like. So if you look at the lowest level of need, that might look like this little number 1. She has multiple siblings and she loves them so much, but they all drive her crazy all at the same time. She has a stepmom and stepdad. Her stepdad's gone quite a bit for work, and so she just really could benefit from having that one-on-one attention from a mentor. If you could jump up to the next level up in that secondary need, this might look like this little number 2. So he has a very resilient mom. They've been forced to be very transient in their home life, and he's had some challenges in school. And so he really benefits from having a big brother to encourage him through all of that. And then if you look at the kind of the highest level of need that we serve, that might look like our little number two, oh, sorry, number three. So he, you know, his dad's been incarcerated. He has suffered from some little bit of mental illnesses. He has had some brushes with the juvenile justice system. He genuinely wants to do better. He just lacks the support and direction on how to do better. That would be definitely the highest end of the spectrum. But depending on who you are and who you want to work with, that's kind of the beauty of this program. With, like Shelley mentioned, for over 100 years, we've been doing it like this. It's called a best fit match. It is really, truly is the cornerstone of what, to me, why Big Brothers Big Sisters has been around for so long. We match based on, we evaluate the littles pretty thoroughly, and the same on the mentors, and we look at personality and location and interest and things like that. Kind of how we choose our friends. We find that when we match that way versus a first come first serve basis, that it's just more organic and more fun, many times more fruit, and many times more longevity to those relationships, because it is kind of a natural fit. So the best fit match. So now I'm going to hand it back over to Shelley, and she's going to talk to you about probably our favorite part of this job, which is the goals, the outcomes that we see.
Well, it's probably our favorite and certainly the most important. As I mentioned, we do one thing, one-to-one mentoring, but we are also an evidence-based nonprofit, which means we provide outcome measures on each match, as well as the program overall every year. The ultimate goal of the program is to break the cycles of adversity in the lives of the youth that we find are very often generational. We are very proud that year after year, our outcome measures demonstrate that youth matched with a big have increased self-esteem. They do better in school. They have better relationships with their friends and family. They're better able to make good decisions and avoid risky behaviors. The success of the program is real. And it's pretty amazing, actually, the changes that occur in our littles' lives just because someone like you simply spends time with them. In the end, we are working to serve and support as many of our youth as possible through the age of 25, with the goal of seeing that they have the resources and support they need to have a livable wage job by that age. So I'm sure you're all just sitting on the edge of your seats wondering, how does this awesome program work? Haley, take it away.
All right. So we have a couple of different options, and I think there's not one that's more impactful than the other. I think it's highly dependent on your schedule and what you feel what to do. So the first one I'll talk about is the community-based match. And it's just as it sounds, you're taking your little out into the community to do an activity and then bringing them back to their home. And so, you can do this as an individual, as a couple, as a family. And we look at the child's need, and as far as that is concerned, as far as activities that you can do, it can be very simple. We encourage you not to spend a ton of money on these kids. They can do a lot of fun things. I was talking to a match who they love to go up and down the sand creek and come pick up trash or chat and things like that. You can take them back to your home, watch a movie together. Everything in life is a little bit of a teachable moment. So whether it's cooking dinner together, nothing too fancy, just fun and getting them to have that one-on-one time together. Time commitment is the number one question that we get asked, and I completely understand. We're all very busy people, and so we ask you to commit to 1 year. We don't have a ton of requirements, but that is one that we hold very firm. So 1 year commitment. These kids potentially have a lot of transition and variables within their home, and so we want to be a consistent mentor for that first year. And a lot of these matches last well beyond the year, and I think that's a big testimony to the best fit match the way that we match. But 1 year, and we ask you to meet with a minimum of 4 to 6 hours a month. So you can kind of schedule whatever works best for you and your little and your family. Some people like to do it every other weekend for a couple hours here and a couple hours there. Some people like to do it weekly for an hour from like 5 to 6. So it's completely up to you, whatever works best for your schedule. So 1 year commitment, 4 to 6 hours a month. We'll transition to the site-based, which is another option. Site-based program is also known as Bigs in Schools. And site-based, you will be meeting with your little. We have every expectation, I know with a lot of questions in the area, every expectation for these to start up during school when school begins back maybe August or September. And so it's 30 to 45 minutes on a weekly basis. So we have you commit to 2 semesters. So you'll begin in the fall semester and commit through May. And this one, it's a lot of fun where you go and hang out with your little, typically over their lunch hour for 30 to 45 minutes. Like I said, you can play games with them. You get really good at Jenga. But really, you can be a tutor. That's not our requirement by any means, but if that's your forte, we're more than happy for you to do that as well. Read with them, but mainly be that person in their day that says, hey, how was your day? Kind of just take a step away from everything else that's going on to hear them out. So yeah, so that's a site-based program. And so this kind of a lot of information coming at you. We will have a recap that can send out to you as well. We will send at the end of the conclusion of this, but also just a recap: community-based, site-based, best fit match. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce Molly. Molly Cush is our match support specialist for Harvey County. She does a really amazing job. So Molly's going to tell you a little bit more about what she does.
Yes, thank you, Haley. Yes, so as Haley said, my name is Molly. I am the match support specialist for Harvey County, and I will be the one taking you through the process of becoming a big if you do choose to. And one of the biggest and best differences between Big Brothers Big Sisters and other mentoring organizations is our utilization of match support specialists. So these people are professionally degreed staff whose responsibility it is to support you and your match from beginning to end. And then this support is based upon national standards that every Big Brothers Big Sisters has in place. And that is to ensure child safety, but also that all of our program participants, so bigs and littles, are benefiting from the match. So I'll be the person who goes between you and the family, be a sounding board, give advice, provide ideas for activities, and help you guys celebrate milestones too.
Thank you, Molly. You're awesome. She really is. She'll get you through the process in a very efficient manner. So let's talk a bit about our matching process. I'm going to start off with requirements. Haley mentioned there are some, and there are always rules, right? They are simple but important. We ask, as Haley mentioned, that you commit to your little for at least 1 year. As you can imagine, our littles have a lot of transition in their lives, so we work hard to ensure consistent supportive relationships. 2, communicate with your match support specialist on a regularly scheduled basis. It's not a lot, once a month for the first year and once a quarter from then on. This communication can be done by text, phone, or in person. We try to make it as easy and convenient for you as possible. Finally, follow the ground rules set by Big Brothers Big Sisters of America for your match activities. They aren't super restrictive, but let's say, don't plan on taking your little skydiving or maybe on a motorcycle. Okay, Haley, I think you're going to tell them now about what they will experience as they become a big.
Yeah, so talk about the enrollment process, and I will tell you it is somewhat thorough, and we realize this, but I just wanted you to keep child safety at top of mind. That's our #1 priority, and the reasoning behind the thoroughness of this intake process. So look at you, we've already accomplished step 1. This is your information session, so we can check that one off. You'll see a link here on your screen. It's a bit.ly link. It's bit.ly /Kansas Bigs. We'll also have that in the chat box, and you'll see it reoccurring all throughout the remainder of the presentation. But this is going to be how we can reach out to you to schedule your interview. It also is going to be a way for us to reach out to you to give you your free t-shirt, whether it's a fit or not. So at the very least from today, we would ask you to take this information. If it's not a good time for you right now, to share it with, with your friends and your family and your coworkers. I'm going to encourage them to consider being a big. And at the very most, it would be a great fit for you. And if so, then you can indicate that on this Bitly link, and we will email you a couple of forms. One is the volunteer application. And I will say the number one thing that holds bigs from being processed as efficiently as possible is getting references back. So we will give you an outline of the type of references that we need, but I highly encourage you, when you put their name down onto the form, to call them or email them and say, hey, I'm so excited, I'm applying to be a big, can you please hurry or fill out this referral form. It doesn't take them long at all. It's a pretty short form, but we have to have all of those back in order to approve you as a big. So that's the application. We also will have a link to a pre-interview questionnaire, and this just allows us to learn a little bit more about you and your personality, the level of adversity that you feel comfortable working with. Again, just developing that best fit. So a couple of short forms, and then it'll be a third link that allows us to do a background screen for you. So background screening. From there, once you receive once you complete all those, we ask you to fill those out at least 24 hours prior to your interview. The interview lasts typically about an hour, and we just learn more about your past and your present and your future plans, your personality, all those type of things. So just getting to know you as a volunteer so that we can select the best fit littles for you. If you're doing a community-based match, then we will do a home visit. If you're doing a site-based in the school setting, we won't need to do a home visit because you will only be meeting with them at school. But the home visit is not a white glove test by any means. It's just making sure it's a safe environment to bring your little to come back and hang out. And so Molly will be conducting those, and she can also combine your interview and home visit together into one appointment if you wanted to do that. It makes for a little bit more efficient process. Molly will also send you some links to pre-match training videos. They're only about 30 minutes in their entirety, but they're very valuable. I really enjoyed them. It's our staff here in Kansas, just talking to you about preparing you as a big, ideas for activities, child safety, those type of things. So we'll have those completed, and then if you're doing a community-based match, we'll have a file showing. So you'll read through anywhere between 2 and 4 waiting littles that are based on those best fit preferences. If you're doing a site-based match, it's very likely that we would be recruiting a best fit little. We know that there are so many kids that are not currently on the wait list that could greatly benefit from having a mentor. So we work with our school partners to make sure that it's in close proximity to where you're going to be during the lunchtime. So we recruit a site-based little. The match meeting is really the final step, and it's the most fun step. It's when you start getting to have fun with your little. And I remember being a little bit nervous, even though I'm very extroverted. I was like, ooh, hope she likes me, those type of things, the normal things that go through your mind, right? And so I just remembered that when I was getting matched up, that when we enroll our littles, we take them out one-on-one, and we explain to them what it is to be a little, and then say, hey, do you want to be a part of it? And we ask the same of the family. And so just be reassured that every single little that are waiting are genuinely excited to be your friend, excited to be matched up. And so I find that makes for even more quality time that you have together, because they're really hungry and wanting to hang out with you. So it takes about a month to get through the intake process, sometimes less and sometimes longer. I think it's heavily dependent on getting those references back and your availability to schedule. But here's a slide. I'll have the bit.ly link up again. So if you could go ahead and visit that now, or if you want to go ahead and jot that down or type it into your phone. This is our virtual green sheet, so it'll allow us to receive the preliminary information. And then if you're indicated that it is a good time for you to move forward, then we will be contacting you to schedule a good time for your interview and or home visit. So, and again, if it's not a good fit, we would love for you to go ahead and fill this out, and we'd really love for you to connect us to other people that are interested, or maybe for a corporate presentation. So. All right, now this is really fun. While all the social distancing was happening, and we were able to continue making matches, and so I have a really fun video for y'all to enjoy. We got to have a virtual match meeting captured here on camera.
Exactly. So that's a good point. So from this point forward, you are officially matched. So you are big and little together, which is awesome.
You know, I am pretty free spirit. I just, you know, go with the flow. I like to have fun. What do you like to do? Do you like to play outside? Do you like to play inside? What kind of things do you like to do?
Read.
Read.
Makeup. Can you do makeup?
Oh, you like to do makeup? Oh, girl.
That is awesome. Soccer and makeup. That's like a great
She
duo.
doesn't know yet, but Emily, so at my house, I have a house, and I turned one of my rooms into, it's called the glam room, and that is where only girls are allowed, and you get all dolled up, and you put on your clothes and your makeup, and you look super cute. So you will have to, you'll see the glam room. Good. Nice to meet you, Emily.
You all.
I'm much cuter in person.
Awesome video. I just love it. I'm probably not much cuter in person. Okay. Well, everything Haley talked about may sound like a lot, but remember, all of it is geared toward making you the best fit match, which again is a major difference between Big Brothers Big Sisters and other mentoring organizations, and the cornerstone of our program. Well, I am really a bottom line kind of gal, so here it is. To be a big, all you need to do is show up. Show up consistently, be supportive, and listen. You don't particularly need to know math or help with homework or be great at sports or video games. The whole point to this is you be you, and we will find a little like you. And frankly, my kids are grown, and I think even just for adults, it's pretty fun to get to feel like a bit of a kid again. I hope you can feel that we have a pretty awesome gig here. We get to work with and meet some of the most great, just amazing people. But the great thing to me is that as I meet people who have been bigs over the last 50 years, I haven't met one yet who hasn't told me that being a big was just as or more impactful for them as it probably was for their little. So it really is a win-win situation. All that said, we are not a hard sell. If it is not the right time for you to be a big, we don't want you to. If you don't feel like you can commit for a year, that's fine. We don't want you to. There are other ways you can help us. You could donate. We are a true nonprofit in the sense that we don't have a business mechanism supporting us. So if you or others would ever like to consider a small donation, that would be awesome. But you can also just refer a big or a little. As we mentioned, there are many youth on the waiting list, and that is not new. The need is truly ever present and frankly necessary as we look to make those best fit matches. So we're always looking to support the kids who need us the most. You can also maybe connect us for a speaking engagement with your business, a church, a civic group. Maybe you belong to a book club, in any kind of group. We will speak to anyone, anywhere for any length of time. Maybe 5 minutes before staff meeting, or maybe a lunch and learn, either at your office or maybe before church. Whatever the opportunity, we will be there. Also, social media. Woo, social media has always been important, but in the last, well, I don't know how many weeks, pandemic weeks, it's become even more important. So following and sharing us on Facebook would be just really great. Finally, we have events. I hope you've heard of them in Harvey County. We have done Bowl for Kids' Sake for I don't even know how many years, many, and a bowling party. but also we have Cooks, Corks, and Kegs in February. So check in with us if you're interested in helping out with events. And we also love it when our bigs help out with events because they can help spread the word. And we also just like to get to know you a little better. Okay, I think that brings us to the end of the show and time for the gift card giveaway. Haley, are you doing the gift card?
I am doing the gift card giveaway, and I'm so hungry right now, and I wish I could be at Casa Fiesta right now. It sounds so good. So that's what the winner of the gift card giveaway is going to be, a gift certificate to enjoy our Casa Fiesta. So, and I have the drawing winner. I just got it texted over to me from Daniel. Random winner is Edith Bueller Breer. So congratulations, Edith. You can take Shelly and I if you want. It's not necessary, but we're okay with that. No, just kidding with you. But thank you so much for joining us today. If you could put your contact information either in the chat box and Daniel can get that from you, or if you will be sending out the link to the green sheet that I mentioned earlier. So we'll contact you that way. So, and we can send it over to you. So. Okay, so yeah, you're right, Shelly. We're kind of at the conclusion of all of our information. We would love to encourage you, if you haven't already and have any questions, in the chat box over here. You can go ahead and do that, and we can do a little Q&A. But one more mention of the green sheet link. It's a bit.ly/Kansas Bigs, and that's where we can contact you, answer questions, get you enrolled for an interview, and Edith, for you, we'll get you info for a gift card. So yeah, we'll bring on Daniel. Daniel is on our development team. He does a great job, and he's been moderating this call. So thank you so much, Daniel. Do we have any questions from the audience?
Yeah, we have a couple of questions that have come through, really good questions. So we'll just kind of speed through these real quick. And I will ask you guys to answer those for them. So Haley, the first question that we have that we get a lot, just from people that are new to the program, new to hanging out with kids, what kinds of things will bigs do with their littles?
Oh, that's a good question. Like I mentioned earlier, walking up and down the river is a lot of fun. I feel like you get a lot of quality quiet time. I mean, just like kind of walking wherever, but quality time, just sharing stories and getting some exercise. One of the bigs was telling me she picks up trash while they're doing it, helping the environment. I'm like, you can't get any better than that. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, but not to do anything that costs a lot of money. Fishing, reading books, watching movies, even going to sporting events. I like to go watch my little sister's volleyball game, so that's fun.
Yeah, and one thing I did that my little really liked is I was potting some plants on my front porch, and she had never done that because she doesn't have a yard, and certainly not probably the income to go to a nursery. So we went to a nursery, and she got to pick out a few flowers to put in a pot, and that was a very special thing to her. We kind of have a saying, let your ordinary be their extraordinary, and that's really true. We also had a big recently call because he felt a little weird about his little mowing his lawn. But the little was very mechanically inclined and didn't have a yard and wanted to learn. And so they kind of bonded over, using tools and teaching him to mow. And so that is like a big thing to him. So it really is kind of the little things that are important.
Awesome, fantastic. Yeah, no, there's so many different things you can do with your little, so never ever worry about that. All right, we have another question here. Shelly, are there any guidelines or restrictions about sharing their faith if they're a big?
Oh, that is a good one. Yes, there are. We discriminate on any of this. All of this stuff depends on the little's parents, guardians, and their preferences. So if you would like to share your faith, when you go through, you put that in as your preference, and then we will look for a little that is okay with their parent or guardian, and that can be a part of the match, absolutely. Is that
fantastic? All right. All right, Haley, another question here. What if you're not sure if you can commit to the 1 year? What if you're not sure if you're going to be around? What if you don't know what's going to come up in life? If you're, I mean, nobody really knows what's going to happen, especially in the last 3 months. What if you're just not sure? You're nervous about being able to be matched with your little for a year?
I mean, we always are in need of volunteers, and so grateful for volunteers that do come through. But Shelly mentioned earlier, but we are very intentional of making sure that they can commit to that 1 year, because if you think about it, I remember I was matched for about 4 months before my little even started to open up. We have very surface conversations, but as far as like, talking about, deeper issues, it took us some time to build that trust. And that's completely normal. That's kind of how we would do it with our friends. And so I think that's a very, so that's one of the reasonings behind it. If you can't fulfill a year, and that is a national guideline as well, something that's handed down from Big Brothers Big Sisters of America with a lot of research behind it. But we would just encourage you to hold off. I mean, like Shelly mentioned, there's a lot of other ways to be involved. And referrals, honestly, you have some of our leadership council that maybe are not bigs, but they are amazing contributors to the For Kids' Sake campaign as far as helping organize or volunteering for other events or getting us connected to corporations. So there's so many good ways to benefit, but we also want to make sure that we have that year commitment so that we can really, in the long run, it's the results that you saw on that slide, having a livable wage job and breaking those cycles, it's all evidence-based and very important. So, and come back in a year and come see us. I understand.
Fantastic. All right, Shelly, we got one more question here. So can you do both types of matches or have more than one little?
You cannot have more than one little. Obviously, this is just one-to-one mentoring. So we really discourage that. I don't even think it's allowed with Big Brothers Big Sisters of America. It's just not what we do. What was the first part of the question?
So can you do both types of matches? So we do have a lot of people ask, what if you want to go see your little during our lunch break or something at school? Can you do that in the community-based program, or do you have to be part of the site-based program?
No, when you're in the community-based program, you can do anything you want. You can go to their school and have lunch with them. It's the other way around. If you're in the site-based program, you can't go anywhere but the school. But the community-based, you have complete flexibility.
And as long as you clear it through Molly, she's the gatekeeper on that. But you would just contact Molly, and then Molly has great relationships with the schools, and so she would just contact them and say, hey, this is the visitor. And we know schools, you have to approve the visitors, whether it's a guardian or a big. So then she could be your gateway to have an easier, time to go out to the school.
We're actually kind of waiting. We know the CDC has recommended that non-essentials not be allowed into schools. So I know Big Brothers Big Sisters of America is working on some kind of virtual platform that bigs can use to talk to their littles during that time. And then we're going to come up with periods of time where we will make the connection so you can actually see them. So we might have to stay tuned on that one when school gets back and we know what the real guidelines are there.
Oh, I have to add, I've been watching people like Mr. Bert Caves you've seen in the video, but they have been making videos and sending them to Molly, and then they typically meet at school. They can't meet right now. So they pass it to Molly, and then Molly shares it with the family, or a handwritten card, which really goes so far too. So it's really kind of fun and it's inspiring to see all the creative ways that we're still being able to encourage our littles, even through all of this. So.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Well, that's all the questions we have coming in. If you guys have more questions, feel free to go ahead and put them in the questions box down there. And even after the webinar has ended, I can reach out or I can have Haley or Shelly or Molly reach out and answer those questions for you. And also make sure to fill out your green sheet so we can get you your shirt and hopefully get you in and be a big.
Thank you all. We really appreciate it.
Take care. Take care.